It's very hard to come up with something convincing in the genre dive watch because that genre is hip, big, overcrowded. But what if you have two Federicos from Italy? Then it might be possible. Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim, and in this episode I'd like to speak about HTD Watches, which stands for Horological Tools Department. This is a small watch company from Florence, Italy, run by our two Federicos. One name is very easy to remember, Federico del Guerra, this is kind of catchy, and the other gentleman is Federico Zulian. And those people are two designers with a strong tendency towards watches, and they've learned how to handle and assemble fine wristwatches from an old watchmaker in their hometown. And then they founded this company, only two people, and to demonstrate that they've sent me some videos just to say this is not a marketing story, we are really here on our own. And I came across their work the first time for my Watch of the Week series every Monday, where I featured this nice Aquatic here in two varieties. And after that video I wrote them, look, I love those designs and I love to wear these pieces a bit. Can you borrow me those pieces for a video, please? And they were very friendly and they said yes. But then they had kind of a problem with their schedule. They assemble the watches in their own workshop, but they, of course, they depend on other manufacturers for parts, and there was kind of a bit of a problem. And then they asked me if I want to review instead the prototypes. And I said, of course, yes, because it's interesting. You have then a look behind the curtain. You can see work in progress. And so I said yes. They sent me two prototypes, the Aquatic, Pallettoni, and the Spaceboy. And I put those watches here on the wrist and I said instantly, yep. Very nice, very nice. And so in this video we have the opportunity to check out both models, Pallettoni and Spaceboy, in depth in the Lightbox. And of course I will tell you all about the changes they've made towards the final product, okay? And if you're new here, by the way, every Friday I do these longer videos with actual reviews of actual watches in the studio. And every Monday then it's time for Watch of the Week video series with brief reviews of recently introduced watches. And if you don't want to miss any form of content here, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, then you get your notifications. And now let's go in the Lightbox. Now let's check out those HTD watches. Okay, and here we are with the Aquatic HTD. Nice looking box. Let's check it out. There we have a blue inner box. Leather. It's not real leather, but it looks kind of nice. And inside we have our, good God, momento. Agora. Inside we have our watch. Here you have it, the Spaceboys in this nice wooden box here. And it came like this. And I thought, well, they wanted to send me two watches. Where's watch number 2? I've checked everything, the conversation, the emails, and they said, yep, we've sent you two watches. And I thought, where is the second watch? And then I thought, in the parcel? Maybe they had only one box and they sent the other watch in the parcel like that, wrapped in rubber, I don't know. And I have thrown the parcel away, the packaging, and I thought, oh no, now the watch could be in the litter. And then I checked the bin and it wasn't there, only the empty box. And then I realized, all right. And it was there. There was the second watch I'm wearing right now. It was under the first one. So this was kind of shock, but now here we are with two watches. Let's take them out. And here we have our prototypes. Here we have the Aquatic Pallettoni, this one, and the Spaceboy, that one. And now let's zoom in and let's go over the basics. What we have here is an automatic watch with a case diameter of 39 millimeters. The height is 11.5 millimeters. Length overall 47, and the lug width is 20. We have a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, a 120 click bezel with aluminium insert, and inside we find the well-known Miyota 1939. And the watch here is waterproof up to 200 meters, and the same specs apply to the Pallettoni model. They are pretty equal, except the dial, of course. And I've worn this watch here first because I was so amused in a good way by this wonderful dial here, these printed numerals you see here with that strong 60s vibe. It reminded me, of course, of the Oris line, Oris 65 divers. They have a pretty similar watch, but I don't see this as a copy of an Oris watch because this design language was present in the 60s on many brands, so it's not exclusively an Oris thing, and so this is not a copied watch for me. And as you can see, it comes on a very nice oyster type bracelet. There you are. And what stunned me at first is that they really used this old-fashioned clasp. Look at this. This is an old friction clasp like a vintage Rolex. And I'm absolutely sure that they've done this willingly and not only to cut costs, because a very advanced clasp is not longer very expensive. You can buy them in China for a very low price. And so this is done willingly here, this clasp. And you know what? I love it. I love it because it reminds me so much of my old Rolex, but here you can wear it with fun because you don't have to worry always about those thousands on your wrist. And I also enjoyed the aluminum insert because of the special look here. Here you see the glare of the sapphire together with this aluminum. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I just love it. And what I also like is the case. Very interesting, with interesting shapes here. You see here the brushing and high polishing, which makes some sense. Here you see the crown. This will be improved, the size of the crown, but I give you the entire list of all changes in a minute. Operating the watch, screw down crown, of course. Oh, I pulled it, already pulled it. And then you can manipulate the time. And this feels like a Miyota feels. Rock solid, if you ask me. Absolutely happy with that feel here. And there we are, 39 millimeters on my 17 centimeter wrist. And I just love the look. I just love the look. Imagine this together with this white shirt. I've worn it with a blue shirt outside with a coat. And yeah, it's just a very, very pleasant piece. Look at this. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Gives you the vintagey Oris or even Rolex feeling at a fraction of the price. And of course, I will come to the price too in this video. But first, let's go to the second watch. Here you have the Pallettoni with massive lume on it. See how thick these lume dots are printed here on the dial. And same thing, you have this beautiful shine of the sapphire of the coating together with this aluminium. Just a wonderful look. And I'm not the biggest fan of black dials, by the way, but here it works. Sometimes a black dial can only be a dark hole on your wrist. It's not very pleasant and not very interesting to look at. But this is just a nice thing. And you may notice that the hands are very similar here, only the dial is different. So same specs here. By the way, I've forgotten to show you the Caseback, those watches, for a reason. Here will be an engraving, but yeah, they've done this for identifying those badges, I think. And it was very hard to peel them off, and so I let them there. And now it's a good time to go over the improvements. First, they want to change the clasp. And I thought, oh no, I like this vintage type of clasp, but people will give them a hard time with this. I get it. And so the new clasp will be a friction clasp and will look like this here. The second improvement is for the Caseback. As mentioned, there will be an engraving. Then the crown, they want to enlarge the crown by 0.5 millimeters. Then they want to improve the lume especially on the hands, and the printing quality, I think, of the lume. Although I find the printing quality here pretty spot on, I must say. I didn't notice anything sloppy or wrong here. Maybe we can see it with really, really big images, but with my bare eyes, no, absolutely happy with that. Yes, and that's basically all. And I can tell you that often I'm very happy when I have a watch here 1 week, but after 1 week I think, oh, come on, now it's time for the next one. These pieces can go, but in this case here, I'm really having a hard time to send them back. I'm a bit tempted just to rob them. And yeah, but no, I'm kidding. I will send them back in a couple of days, but I will wear them until then every minute of the day. Okay, welcome back. You can pre-order the watches right now. Price for one watch is 630 euros, at least for the first 50 pieces, so kind of an early bird price, and in US dollars this is 660. And if you ask me now if those prices are, in my opinion, reasonable, I would say yes. I would say yes. With the ingredients, with the specifications, the design, yeah, I find those prices reasonable and, to be honest, pretty normal. And that said, let me close this episode now. If you want to have sneak previews, then please visit me on Instagram, caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and until next time.